Hello buddy, you're watching the Han channel, and today what I'm making a video on is I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing Spirit Halloween's Art the Clown animatronic from Terrifier from this past season. Now I got a little bit of story behind this one. I actually got this dude all the way back in August. I just haven't had time to open him until now. But yeah, basically what happened was I got him during my state's tax-free weekend. My store didn't have him at the time, but my friend Halloween Clay Guys did, so he picked it up for me from his store, and then I gave him the money. So yeah, so shout out to him for picking this up for me at the time. But yeah, he is awesome. Definitely one of the best from Spirit last year, or this past season. So yeah, he retailed for 200 bucks, which is honestly such a great price, which is kind of shocking because you know, Spirit's prices have gone up a bit, and especially when they're licensed, they usually tend to go for a bit more. But 200 bucks for this guy, and with a coupon, and of course I got the tax-free, worked out really well. And I was working at the time, so I got to use my 30% off discount, so that was great. Makes it even better. But yeah, and apparently this is what I heard. Spirit was trying to compete with Party City at the time, which I know they're closed, but so they made him 200 while Party City's was more expensive. And I think this one's a lot better than the one that Party City had. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open him now, see what's in here. And this is actually my second one I'm opening in the unboxing, because I set the one up at my store, so I know how this guy goes anyways. But yeah, I guess we just gotta slide this top part out. All right, so when you slide it out, this is what it looks like. Everything's just kind of tossed in there. So let me put this down and I'll go through everything here. So first of all, we got one shoe here, plastic. See what I can take out. We have his head wrapped up in here. Let's see if I can get this out. Here's the head, and it looks pretty good on mine. Up close there. But yeah, I will say it is kind of unfortunate that his face is latex, because I mean, it won't be for a while, but it obviously at some point will dry rot. So that's kind of disappointing, especially when, you know, it doesn't need the mouth doesn't need to move or anything. In this case, it should just be plastic. It has a plastic like head, but like it has like a latex mask over it, so the whole thing should have just been plastic. But his eyes are plastic too, so the eyes in him are pretty cool. And I have seen people get the Nutri Studios plastic mask and put it over, and it actually looks pretty good. So, and his hat is attached to it. Pretty cool. We have one of the foam paddings for his legs, a couple pulls here. Here's the other shoe. And he is made by YJ. This is the back piece. Here's the arm with the horn, and the hand's plastic, but this is actually metal, so it's kind of neat. He doesn't actually honk it with like his hand moving, but it does make the sounds as if like he is. Here we have the whole mechanism and his other arm right here. This is the arm that waves. His clothing is in this bag. He's got his glasses from Terrifier 2. Now, even though this one, I guess, I mean, it could be from any Terrifier, but the glasses were in Terrifier 2. This one just says Terrifier, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So you could say he's from either movie, 1, 2, or 3. More pulls. We have his instructions, but it's pretty straightforward. I won't be needing that, but there it is. Licensed products on there are pretty cool. With that picture above. Here's his base. His adapter. And there's even a zombie tech squad card in here. I don't know if that was just added when my friend Christian, Halloween Clay guy, got this, or if it was already in the box, but yeah, there's that. So I will go ahead and put this guy together now, and then once he's all set up, I will do a review so we can see what he does, and then I'll explain everything about him. All right, so I got him all set up and he is on. So let's see how he works. I know a lot of these kind of have issues with the head especially, but let's go ahead and see him in action. Go ahead and do him one more time, just because he's new. So yeah, he seems to be working pretty good. I didn't have his volume all the way up just because he is a very loud prop. So, but yeah, you can still hear it. I just didn't have it all the way. But yeah, I'll just do an overview of him now. I'll start with the box first, because why not? You can see this is the top. It says Damien Leone's Terrifier. And I like the colors in the box. They usually do neat license boxes, which is really awesome. See, it tells all about him. There's a photo with him with the glasses there. And then you just have the normal photo of him there. The back's just kind of basic, but you know, it has all the usual modes that the animatronics have. There's this sticker. So yeah, I saved about 60 bucks when I got him. So I got him for 140, which is awesome. Such a steal. Of course, there's a little thing where if you wanted to scan, you could see it in action. And then the bottom's just black, but yeah, he's a very cool prop. He also does come with the sandbag, which is optional. You don't have to use it. But if you do plan on using this guy outside, I definitely recommend putting some sort of weight on him, even if it's just a brick to put on his base. And then this doesn't come with it, but this is on the ISE. I actually took this at the end of the season at my store last year. This was on the carnival booth next to Art. Because if you haven't seen the Terrifier movies, he kills a lot of people and gets blood all over him. It's a very gory movie. But, so, and Spirit does sell permablood, which is neat. So you can put blood on him to make him look, if you prefer the bloody look of Art. Or you don't have to do it. You can just keep him like the clean look. But I've seen people do some really nice blood work on him, so it's always an option. And you can see it's an example of what he could look like if you put it on, so that's pretty neat. And if you're not too familiar about Art the Clown or the Terrifier movies, I'll just tell you a bit about it. Minor spoilers, so I don't know if people watching this care or not. But so far there are 3 movies, and there is going to be a 4th one at some point. It is confirmed, I just don't know when it's dropping. But director Damien Leone said in the first 15 minutes of the 4th one, when it comes out, we're apparently going to see Art the Clown's backstory, because not much is known about him. He's a killer clown, but he does die several times, but he always comes back to life. Like, he regenerates himself almost. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes from. And the 4th one, I believe, is going to be the finale of the Terrifier franchise. But yeah, he's just a clown, but he acts more like a mime. So he does gestures, like, but he doesn't make noise or anything. Like, he'll act like he's laughing, but he won't speak. He doesn't make any sound. He doesn't talk at all. He's just silent character. So that's why in the audio, you know, he just honks the horn, because he does use the horn in the movie. So if you're questioning why Art the Clown doesn't talk if you haven't seen the movies, he doesn't talk at all, so yeah. But I think he's a pretty neat and interesting character, and he's becoming one of the most popular horror characters nowadays, so yeah, there you go for Art. But I do like the movies. They are very gory, so if you don't handle that, then they're probably not for you. But personally, for me, I do enjoy them, so even though some scenes can be extreme. But yeah, I'll just go over him. He stands roughly about 6 feet. It's pretty accurate to the movie. Face is pretty neat. I just, like I said, I wish it wasn't latex, but it's not bad. And of course, you can remove these. This eye's kind of, should be more like that, but yeah. I don't know, he looks fine with glasses though. I will say the glasses really don't stay on, so you kind of have to slide it underneath this part of the, I think it's more of like a hood type thing, I guess, that he wears in the movie. So you kind of have to slide the glasses under there to make them stay, because if you put it over the ears that way, they just tend to fall off. So that's the best way to secure the glasses. And if you really want to, you could actually wear these too, because you can actually see right through them. Like I said, he has this hat attached here, which has like a plastic filling in there, so it kind of keeps its form. The setup on him is pretty basic. It's not hard or any means. I guess the one kind of annoying thing is you do have to screw in his head, which is kind of hard to get in there, but yeah, you know, you'll manage it. But other than that, just pretty much a basic life-size thing where you do the snap locks. He has a sensor right there, pom-poms. His costume's pretty good. Then you have his shoes right here. They're not like a cheap plastic, so they won't really like crack easily. Here's his hand that waves, which is pretty neat. And then right here, we have the horn, which I said earlier. It is metal, which is pretty neat. But then the black, the back part of it's plastic. So with the hand, this hand doesn't do anything, but it's supposed to indicate that he's honking the horn because of the sounds, even though the hand doesn't actually move. But yeah, he's pretty cool. I do like the Terrifier movies, so I knew I had to get this guy. I didn't really get much other animatronics from Spirit besides him this past season. He was like the main one, so obviously I made him priority to get. But yeah, and then I can probably just go in the back and show you his controls quickly. There's the back, has his adapter just right there. You know, it's pretty basic. There's the volume control. Obviously, it doesn't really tell you where it's going to begin, but yeah, just put it right in the middle. That's fine. There's the mechanism for the head there. There's a snap lock in there, but it already comes attached. You just have to screw this part in up here. And then, of course, this arm moves, so there's a wire going through there. And then there's the motor for his body, too. So the head and the hand and the body are on 3 separate motors. Maybe this is, see right there, Terrifier tag. But yeah, the back of him's just basic. This you just put on, you know, it's pretty straightforward. He's in a neat stance, I'd say, with his legs leaning over. And yeah, and then so the motor that waves the hands all in there, you just connect the wire like I showed you. But other than that, is a very cool one. I definitely like this one better than Party Cities. That one was Seasonal Visions. As I said earlier, this one's YJ. And overall, YJ did a pretty solid job on him. I mean, I guess there's like 2 main complaints I have about him. The first one is his head being latex, like I already said. It's not the worst latex, but either way, latex is latex. It'll rot one day. But it should just been plastic. And my second complaint is, you've seen in a lot of these, like I said earlier too, the head breaks a lot, so they start clicking and everything. It's kind of annoying. I don't know why it messes up so bad if it's just like a normal head turn. But yeah, other than that, he's a pretty solid prop, I'd say. And definitely well worth the price. You really can't go wrong for $200 to begin with. But of course, you use coupons, and if you work there, get a discount, even better. So pretty much that's all I gotta say about him. Really happy to have this guy, and I think that's it. So see you guys next time. Bye.